Good day, everyone. Here I am, Reed, at the Orchestra Farm site. Nice to see you today. I want to show you a picture of the gate because it kind of shows that I wasn't the last person there. That's right. The handle that I just put back down again is up a bit. Anyway, I want to give you a bit of a update as to the farm here. See a tree that I chopped down that was dead there. It's March 1st, 2022 right now. And I'm going to be honest, people. I have been not here very much. You know, let's go this other direction first. And still getting kind of organized around everything. So there's a bunch of stuff that needs to happen. Like, check out these currants from last year's propagation. They actually still look alive, but there's a lot of water coming out of that. It's rained a bit this last little while. Oh, it's good to just not flood them completely. And you know, we're prepping for the year. Some of the seeds have come in, which is great. This that's our worm bin there. It needs to get emptied out, and I'll flip the screen. You can see that this is our most shaded area. In fact, look at all that water just running past. It is wet here. And I had been using this for propagation beds, but it's so overrun with buttercup that I really just feel like I can't do that anymore. Because who wants to have a bunch of plants that you get with buttercup in it? Now this greenhouse got a little bit of mulch on it, and it's actually looking halfway decent. The wasabi is rocking it right now. Love that. And those kale plants don't look completely terrible. The chickweed is doing its thing. Do we like chickweed? Somewhat. Well enough to say, I'm not going to completely try to destroy you here. And look at that bunch of water, standing water there. We got to raise the earth up. How are we doing that? Wood chips, people. That's how we're doing that. Lots of wood chips. Oh, look at all that standing water. That's exciting. This area needs some serious help. We got to tack down those shade cloths, and we'll just come around the corner here and see the cabbage patch is doing its thing. This is the strawberry greenhouse. My thinking is we need to basically pull out those strawberries that are there and probably rototill this whole thing, because these grasses are insane. And I don't know if you've ever mulched before with you know, some straw or hay that has seeds in it, but it just grows more. Ooh, look at that. We got some buds happening here on the, hopefully the camera will focus. Seed buckthorn, that's exciting. It does spread though, so you can see over here, there's some more coming out of the ground right in front of it. It's going in the southerly direction there. The mini pocket pond that I put in is looking like it's growing a lot of algae. I'm gonna need to put a bubbler in there. The little apple tree is doing well. Ooh, I don't know if you can see that on the ground there. Those bright green leaves are a golden raspberry. Very exciting. I need to come in and trim back the dead stuff. There's another seed buckthorn, and ooh, the dreaded blackberry is growing on it. This is our mulberry tree, which I'm hoping to get some softwood cuttings for and propagate that more. The autumn olive is leafing out here. We got a couple pots down below. And then look, we're back to the front of the greenhouse area, where, I don't know if you can see that, just over near the jostaberry that's starting to leaf out, but a lot of water is moving through the landscape right now. It rained pretty hard over the last little while. So let's come around and check out some other areas. Here we're building up the ground, and we've got stinging nettle. This stuff is so delicious and good for you. I can't wait to start making some pesto with that, because I'm out of my freezer stock of basil pesto. And I think what's going to happen this year is that we have this lovely drainage channel through the middle of the farm, basically. And I think we're going to fill it in. So after this little pocket pond here, I'm going to fill in that to where I've got room to put a chest freezer into the ground as a cold freezer spot. Like, it is wet, wet, wet. Look at all that wetness. Huh. Gotta add more wood chips to these paths to raise the earth. Ooh, the garlic patch is looking pretty good. Starting to come up. And then underneath all that mulch hay that's there is actually a bunch of sheep manure, which is exciting. We've got some trees to plant here. We've got some hazelnuts and walnuts and some fig that all need to get into the ground. Here's an ultra northern pecan that looks like it might be thinking about putting some leaves on. There's a dead deer buried in this, like a little baby one. And looks like we're gonna have some nice bulbs coming up again. Isn't that exciting? I like that. More flowers, just because they're beautiful, you know? Here's a hazelnut that's popping up right here. Pretty exciting on that count. And then we have a little row of hazelnuts here where you can see the sheep wool happening. It looks like the comfrey that's over here might be... Oh yeah, there it is. There's the little comfrey. If you need some comfrey, let me know, people. I can just dig it out, send you a nice chunk of root, and you can evidently just toss it in a blender and spread it out. There's some more of that. I'm stepping on some chocolate mint. I can smell it, even though I don't see it. That's exciting. Here, I'll come through this. So this whole area needs to basically get dealt with. You can just see the buttercup is just winning like nobody's business. It's delightfully terrible. Same with this whole area in here. We need to basically come in. That's right, you can basically see I did a terrible job wrapping it up for the winter. Currants are totally happening in a nice way right there. That's great to see. And then behind that on the fence you can see a vine growing, and that is a kiwi. Pretty excited about that. Let's check on the fig. How's the fig doing? I'm not sure if it made it. You can see a little bit of life kind of in the stem, but it maybe doesn't like it. We'll see. I'm gonna try to plant some more in a greener spot. This greenhouse is also looking halfway decent. There is something coming up here, and I'm gonna guess it's mustard, because there used to be some really big mustard plants right back in this area. And I've spread out a bunch of other seed in here, so we'll see how all that does. I obviously need to fix that patch on the greenhouse. Oh, look at that. Winter damage. Then you probably notice the back door that needs to get fixed too. There's so many things to do on the farm. It's exciting. And some of you might be wondering, hey Reed, oh look at these lovely spiky roses from the rose patch and back here. That's just part of our hedgerow essentially. That's on the side of the creek over there. In that open space I'm going to plant more willow and poplar and maybe some more mulberry. This is a white gooseberry here and a jostaberry here. That's very exciting. This is another apple tree. Oh, and where is it? Oh, I'm very excited about this. This is another ultra northern pecan. It's getting its little leaf buds on. And then we come into our raspberry patch. We got the golden raspberry right here, which is exciting. Seeing its life coming back. Come over this way. The raspberry patch is doing pretty much great. This is a little pawpaw, which I'm very excited about. It seems like it's happening. And then I've got a hickory nut right here. It's tiny, but someday it might amount to something. Back in this area, we've got, and it looks like it's doing a lot better now it's warmed up, elderberry. Looking forward to getting a lot more of that going in this back row as well. Yeah, you can probably see it over there. There's the creek flowing. There's actually a beaver dam on the other side of that the root ball of the willow as it fell over. I'm not sure what the beavers are up to, but they don't seem to be caring too much about it. I got a few trees in pots over here. These are some black walnuts, and then somewhere in there is a golden chain tree. So I want to get those all planted out. And then this is a new raspberry patch that I put in. You might have saw my ultra dark video that I made at night, because I scored these from a client. And my little tiny walnut tree that I planted is getting covered up by the wool here, so we're going to pull that back so it can breathe a bit more. That's scary. We don't want that to die. Likewise, I've got another one of those right over here, and we'll just pull off that bit of extra material. And then this area, you can see where the giant mound is of earth. We're going to be tilling up all this, and on the other side over there, tilling up all that. And the goal is to make for this year, a giant potato and squash patch. You can see those willow stems that are yellowy there. Those came off of that willow tree that fell and broke our fence line, and I just shoved them in the ground. And now that they grew, like, honestly, they were maybe 6 feet tall. I cut back a lot of them recently. You can see the cut mark there. And trying to propagate some more of that. So those cuttings you see in the ground there are fresh. And they're looking pretty decent, which is great. I mean, willow seems like it just takes right off. We're coming all the way to the corner because I'm trying out a bunch of things as usual. And so these, I think, are little aspens, which I don't know if they're actually going to grow here, but I got a bunch from a client's tree that just, you know, a low branch look kind of dumb. And they're fancy people. They didn't want something looking dumb. This, another willow variety. I'm excited about that. Change it up a little bit. And we'll see if we can walk past over this way. So it's 3/4 of an acre here, if you're wondering. And there's a whole pond area here, which is where we get our water to irrigate with. But because we're in a lowland, you can see the land is rolling up there. It's really, really wet here. All year, basically. Look at that water flowing out. So I need to raise up this little section here so that the pond doesn't overflow it. And then I can put some fish in there, which would be exciting. Good morning, Rolly. This is going to be another blueberry patch in here. It's pretty exciting. And I want to extend a blueberry patch over there, which I'll get around to showing you. A lovely day on the farm. So it's probably about maybe 6 or 7 degrees out, and you can see where the pond is overflowing in this direction here. We're hoping to get an excavator back here again that I'll utilize and actually bring the pond right out to my foot there, and then take all that earth and plop it over this way where there's more water that's built up to extend the growing area. Because this year I'm probably going to only be able to take it, this field, to about where I'm standing now, which gives me an extra 40 feet or so. I gotta actually get to work, but I'm trying to give a quick update here. There is a blueberry here that made it. I think that is going to be one of those pink lemonade blueberries, which my daughter is very excited about. In fact, I'm pretty excited about it too. And then another one here, and that one, Chippewa, I think is the name of it. Otherwise, the blueberries are here, and we got about 2 rows of them, and they're starting to look a little bit better. I put a bunch of pine needles around them because they really like it acidic, and pine needles are supposedly really great for that. The pathways need to get redone. I got a bunch of perforated pipe so I can stick it in the ground, so that way instead of having these open paths, even though it's beautiful to see the water right now, when these grasses get high, you can't see where it is, and then you're like breaking your ankle every few steps. So there's also a lovely little hedgerow thing happening here, which is great. Looking forward to playing some more in that. And that's my mini farm update for you. There's also this tarp that's next to the greenhouse that I'm looking forward to pulling up that and planting basically some herbs in that and creating a herb edge to the greenhouse to hopefully keep the rest of the weed things back, which is the big challenge. We've also got a swing set to put up for the kids, the bed frame that I walked across, my little pocket pond. They want an arbor there so that way people don't feel so scalded by the sun in the summer. Anyway, Reed here at Orchestra Farm. I'm gonna let you go now. Bye.